This is the new Streakfly 2. It's ultra lightweight, loaded with ZoomX foam, and Nike has finally added a carbon fiber plate. Is it really a massive improvement to the original Streakfly and finally a challenge to the Vaporfly? Let's dive right in. Hi, I'm Kyle, a high school runner who reviews shoes. Let's get into the stats. The stack height is 26mm in the back and 22mm in the forefoot for a 4mm drop. This shoe comes in at 131 grams for my US men's size 10, which makes it Nike's lightest running shoe it has ever made. And at $180, it slots below the Vaporfly and Alphafly, making it a little bit more affordable. Start from the bottom. On the bottom, there is an outsole which is kind of similar to the Vaporfly 3, which has these little cutouts on the bottom. It also has two small pads of rubber on the back, which adds a little bit of durability, but it does look like there is a lot of exposed midsole foam. Midsole is made of Nike's ZoomX foam, the foam they use in the Vaporfly and Alphafly, their best racing foam that they have, and it goes all the way through, and in the middle it has the fly plate, which is that carbon fiber plate that really is the change for this new shoe. The Nike Streakfly 2 upper is definitely lightweight, breathable, and thin. It definitely has that race fit, which makes it a little tighter when you're racing, but that's definitely what you want. It does run slightly narrow, which I would say means you should go half a size up, especially if you have wider feet. The Streakfly 2 definitely does have a better upper. Definitely got that better lockdown and definitely has, I would say, a better tongue, even though there is minimal cushioning. That's definitely to save from the weight. Also, I would say the one thing that could stop some people from buying it is the geometry of that midsole. It definitely is similar to a spike. If you've never worn one, it definitely wants you to just land on that forefoot. If you're a big heel striker, this might be a reason why you shouldn't buy the shoe. Because of that spike feeling, you definitely want to get used to it. You can't just go into a race like you would in a Vaporfly, even though I wouldn't recommend that. I would say if you haven't run the spikes, definitely try these out on interval sessions, on faster runs, before you go out on that 5K. Now for the changes from the Streakfly 1 to the Streakfly 2. The one thing the Streakfly was missing when I was running cross country was that carbon fiber plate, which the Streakfly 2 does have. It definitely makes it a lot more stable and springy when you're going off your foot. The next thing is the outsole. Honestly, it's pretty similar in terms of grip. The only thing I would say is the Streakfly 2 does have less padding in the heel, so that could reduce durability. Now for where you should use this. I've been able to run a 5K in these, and it was definitely a great experience, better than the Streakfly 1. I would say from the mile to the 5K, this could be the best shoe for it, but for the 10K, Nike says you should be able to use these, but I would say that is slightly a stretch due to the minimal stack height on these. For me, I would use the Vaporfly 4 for those instead, but this definitely for the 5K. My final verdict is this is definitely a great shoe. It's a shoe that we've always wanted from the Nike Streakfly. The Streakfly 1 was definitely more of a tempo training shoe, while these are definitely racers, while you can use them for training. I would say it definitely filled in those gaps, especially with that carbon fiber plate, the weight loss. It's definitely exactly what we wanted. I would also say that it's definitely a contender for super shoes. This is definitely better for lower ends compared to the Vaporfly and Alphafly. It's definitely filling in that gap below the Vaporfly for the mile to 5K. Would you race in the Streakflies, or does the Vaporfly still work better for you? Drop a comment, leave a like, and subscribe. Thank you.